Ooh, aren't we looking festive today? Does that mean we're going to watch some crazy Christmas movie? No. But it does take place during winter, so it counts. Today we're looking at the movie Someone is Watching Me, aka The Turkish Shining. Yes, there's a Turkish adaptation of The Shining. Just when you thought you've seen everything, you come across something like this. The history of horror film in Turkey is an interesting one, mainly due to the fact that horror was an unpopular subject in Turkey, especially during the 70s and 80s. Some horror did come out at the time, such as Dracula İstanbul'da, the lost film Scream, The Dead Don't Talk, and of course The Turkish Exorcist. The Turkish Shining was released in 1988, and it was directed by Ömer Uğur, and stars Tarık Tarkan and Selin Dilmen. The plot is very similar to The Shining in that a writer takes his family to a seaside hotel so he can work on his book. Previous to their arrival, another family was murdered by their patriarch, who then hung himself. But this is not the only bizarre event to happen on the island. According to the hotel's watchman, a fisherman's tomb had been bulldozed during the hotel's construction. And now on the 15th of the month, dead fish are seen in the ocean, and people go crazy. Now, going by that plot synopsis, it's obvious that the film borrows only bits and pieces from King's novel / the Kubrick film, but it has many scenes that are lifted from the 1980 movie. We have scenes that mirror the all work and no play scene, the here's Johnny scene, the give me the bat scene, and the scene where Hulky is placed in the freezer like Jack Torrance. Only here the freezer is tiny, which makes for a hilarious scene. The rest of the movie does its own thing, which leads to problematic elements in the story. Characters contradict themselves, such as when the night watchman says that he doesn't know why the previous guest killed his family, but then says that the 15th of the month drives people crazy. Another contradictory moment happens later in the film when Hulky's wife doesn't want to go back into the hotel, given the dead fish and Hulky's erratic behavior. But then she goes in anyway. Speaking of Hulky's behavior, it comes off as if he's crazy even before the 15th arrives, as his reasons for going to the hotel are because of the previous murders. He feels that jumping into the killer's shoes will help him write his story. He pretends to hang himself, pretends to strangle his wife, and then says that killing during lovemaking is a thrill. Also, plot points are dropped in at random. The wife is obviously put off by Hulky's behavior, like when he pretends to strangle her in the room where the previous deaths occurred. Then, after telling Hulky that she's scared and uncomfortable, she starts making out with him. Also, later in the movie, Hulky says that he shouldn't have taken his wife out of the hospital, indicating that she's had mental issues in the past. At no point previous to this do we have any indication of her being crazy. Outside of the holes in the story, the production of the film is flawed, with many shots being out of focus or too dark to see anything. Plus, the film isn't scary in the least. There are a few eerie shots, and the film has a brooding atmosphere, but it falls very short of being anything other than an amusing curiosity. So if you're going to go out and watch any Turkish remake, stick with the more interesting ones, like their remakes of Superman, Batman, Star Wars, Star Trek, or Death Wish. I'm the Cinema Fanatic. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Hayır, sakın okuma Allah'ın belası. Oğlum, yavrum. Bir şey oldu mu? Çıldırmışsın sen.